Hey everybody, so this is the iMovie work-along video. So you're going to need a few things just to get going before you start this. I'm going to go through those now. So one of the things we have to do is we have to have a YouTube video, and there's a lot of different ways to pull videos off YouTube, and some of them are not the most legitimate ways. So this is a pretty trusted way that we've used in this class, and it's through the Firefox browser. So if you don't have it, go ahead and you can just Google it and download it for free. And when you get into the Firefox browser, you're going to see under Tools, you're going to be able to add these add-ons, and we want to add if we go to Get Add-ons, you can see we want this one right here, this Download Video Download Helper. So what we can do is you can click on that, and it'll come up with the page, and it'll ask you to install it. That's fine. And once it's installed, like you see on the top right of my screen, you'll see these three little circles, red, yellow, blue. That's how you know that it's downloaded correctly and you can use it. So then all you need to do to use it is pretty easy, is go to your YouTube video that you want. This is the video that I'm going to pull from my iMovie. And you'll see that it'll have these three little bubbles right here. And we click it, and it gives us options on how to download the video. We can usually just choose the top one, it's perfectly fine. And then it'll ask you to download it, and then it'll give you a place on where it wants to go. Now I've already downloaded this video, but then you can choose your desktop, documents, whatever you want. So that's how you download your video. As for importing your photos, I recommend that what you do, and I'll pull my photos up here, is what I did is I just made a new album, and then I basically drug my pictures in, and I'll actually do it again just to demonstrate for you guys here. So I'll make a new album, and mine is on plants, so hit OK, and I've already uploaded my pictures into Photos, so I could just click on all these guys and be fine. Let's say if you haven't done that, you can create a blank album, and then if I minimize all my web stuff and minimize this, what I can do is I can literally just click, I can box all my stuff that I've downloaded, and you can just drag it right on over. Oops. Let's try that again. There we go. And we just drop them right in, and that's fine. I've already uploaded these first, so it's giving me kind of a message here, but that's fine. Okay, so here are all my pictures in my Photos album. We can pull this Photos album up right when we go to iMovie. Now, I don't have 20. I know that the requirement is 20. Do follow the requirements. I'm just making an abbreviated one so the movie isn't longer than it has to be, just to show you how to do it. Okay, so once you have an album made, you can basically close out of Photos, and we can get into iMovie. What we want to do is we want to make a new project. So what we can do is, I'll go ahead and save and get out of this. We'll go back out to the main screen of iMovie, and if you need to hit back to get out of a workspace, go ahead and do that and save your project. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a new project. We want to create a movie. Okay. Now we're in our movie file. So what you're going to see is, first of all, you're going to have your iPhoto library over here to the left. And you can actually choose here that you can just choose to pick from your albums. And here's my album I have up here that I just made. And if it doesn't show up the way you want it to, you can click this button. It'll take you back out, and you can pick from all of your albums. So I'll just click my Plants album, because that's what we just did. Get into it, and here are all my stuff for upload. just so you guys know, I have my movie, and I'll show you guys how to upload that as well. My movie's right here. Let's move that to the side, future reference. Okay, so what we can do is we can just go ahead and start uploading our pictures, or putting them into our work file. And I kind of have somewhat of an idea of how I wanted to organize these, and when I put the voiceovers in, this will all kind of come together here. Oh, by the way, here's that video and it's nice. You can put the video right on your photos, and it'll come up in the album. Very nice. Okay, actually, let's put this one first. And let's get one of these. Okay. So basically, what I wanted to say in the beginning of my video was something like, there's lots of different plants, and they have lots of different purposes. And I'm going to say some plants we eat for nutrition, some plants give us oxygen, and some plants look pretty, or something along those lines, like flowers and things like that, and are also food to animals. Then what I wanted to do is I wanted to go into the different parts, or the different types of plants. That's why I got this one right here. Put that in right after that. Basically the difference between flowering and non-flowering. And I'm going to have to go back, and since I'm in here, you're going to see that sometimes it puts picture effects in there, and you might not want them. Like, I don't want the picture effects in here. I want them to see the whole thing. If they ever do that, you can come up here, and you just want it to fit. There we go, that's what we want, because we want them to see the entirety of the image throughout the course of the slide. Okay, so we're going to say there's multiple kinds of plants. I'm going to talk about the difference between flowering and non-flowering plants, of course. Flowering plants are basically just flowers and trees because they have seeds. So I'm going to put the rest of my, move this over a touch. There we go. Move this down. There we go. We're talking about the different kinds of trees. And then, because we have mostly fruit-bearing trees, and then otherwise protected trees by like cones and things like that. Okay, I thought I had one more. Oh, I used it at the beginning. Okay, that's fine. So what we can do then is, I'll talk about the non-flowering, which is mostly like mosses. But I have my pine. I'll put my palm tree in there too, under flowering plants. There we go. Because they're fruit-bearing plants, and they have seeds. Okay. So anyways, I would be adding in a couple more, but that's fine for right now. Now we also need to add in our background music. And this is what I picked for my iPhoto project, and that's fine. I'll just go ahead and I'll pop it in here at the bottom, and I'll put it in the front, and that's good. Okay. And we will adjust this as we need it. Okay, good deal. I also need to put in a title and a credit slide, so we can go ahead and we can do that right now. I'm going to go to my backgrounds, pick a black title slide, I'll move it there. I want my music to start at the beginning, so I'll clip the music to the title slide, and then I'll go back to my titles menu, and I'll pick my title, and I'll drop it in the middle, and then I can go up here to my preview and I can work on it. Okay, that's fine. Now we need to come over here to the end, and we need to do the same thing for a credit. So we'll go back to backgrounds, drop a background in, and we'll drop the credit slide in. I'll choose scrolling credits, and then this is where we're going to put our URLs. And just for time's sake, I'll put paste your URLs in here. It's going to be any video or song that you used. Okay. So what we can do now is we can add in our video. So we can go ahead and we can go back. And let's find our video. Okay. I want my video to explain right before I have my diagram, because the video kind of explains the different types of plants. I'll pop it in right in the middle here, and it drops right in. Now I don't necessarily want the entire first part of this, so we can actually do some stuff to cut some of the beginning and the end parts of this out. Like for example, this whole part here. So if you hit space, you're going to get your preview to come up. So this is all just info or whatever. You can still cut this. Now what you notice is that we're going to have some issues with our sound from our movie being a little bit too loud when we have a opposite video playing. We can fix that. And what we do here is we're going to have this option of lowering volume for other clips. Since we want this to be the loudest sound, we can go ahead and we can click this. And you're going to get this slider. And if we want it to be higher, I believe we move it to the right. Let's double check that.
It's because of you. You taught me how to plant and take care of these flowers. I wonder if flowers and trees are the only
Yeah, so you can see the more you move it to the left, the louder it gets. The more you move it to the right, the quieter it gets.
Other types of plants are shrubs, herbs, and vine. What are those? These are the type of plants. Trees, shrubs, herbs, and vine. This is a tree. It's a plant with one main woody stem or trunk.
Okay, so now that we figured the
leaves and branches.
adjusting your volume of other clips out, we know that this is going to be, I'll go ahead and pause that. We know that that's going to be our primary audio, so that's good. So what we need to do now is we need to cut off the front and the back end of this because it's a little bit too much. All this good stuff right here. Where I had the introduction animation. Here it is. We'll cut it off about right here. So we'll put a little click, and you'll see that you'll get this little line to show up. And then if you right click, you'll see that you have this option to split your clip. It's also Command B. So that splits your clip. We want to just get rid of this clip on this side. We just click on the clip and hit backspace and it gets rid of it. So you see it's going to immediately go into...
Today we're going to learn about plants. I'm so
Here we go. So you can see how it previews.
Today we're going to learn about plants. I'm so proud of
So that looks pretty good. So...
plants aside from flowers and trees. Other types of plants are shrubs, herbs.
I'm just going to go through this whole little movie here. We're going to talk about the different plants. And...
plants. Thank you. I learned a lot from you today. You're welcome.
Okay, what is
How about you? Did you have fun learning about the different types of plants?
Okay, so we can pretty much cut it right to the end.
The plants.
Let's cut it right before the
Different types of
dissolve.
plants.
We can use left and right keys to kind of do the fine editing trimming. So I'm kind of like using left and right here to get that. I want that frame to come up because I don't want the fish. It's kind of confusing. And I just Command B to split my clip. And I toss the back end of this video. Okay. And then I'm going to put I'm going to put two voiceovers in here. I'm going to put one at the very beginning of the video. And then one after the video. So once again, to put in a voiceover, you're going to hit the V key, or you can also hit this little mic button right here, that's fine. So you click where you want the video to start, or the voiceover rather, and you see my little line come up from my marker. And then if you hit the little microphone or you hit V, you'll get this little record button to come up. And I would actually advise having a short little script laid out. It'll help you having to either like record or do double takes or things like that. I'm actually going to put in... I'll put in another picture right here because I thought of something. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll start this up. And it'll count us in. There are lots of plants in the world of nature. Some plants we eat. Some plants help us breathe. And some plants we look at. Let's learn about the different types of plants. Okay, so then I hit my stop button. And you're going to see, here's my audio. It's going to come a little bit past where the movie starts. So that's not an issue at all. All we do is we move our last slide before the movie to the end of our audio file. And we're going to move this audio file. And we need to do the ducking as well, because if you... Let's learn about the different types of plants. Okay, so you see how they have the sound. Let's learn about the different types of plants. You're going to see we have that same issue with the audio mixing. So what we can do is we right-click our voice. And then we can come back up here to our little sound button. And then we want to make sure that this button is checked, that the other audio levels are quieter. And we can actually turn it up a little bit if we want. Okay. Let's learn about the different types of plants.
Today we're going to learn about plants. I'm so
That goes
proud
right
of
into
you.
our video real
You
nicely.
made all these flowers grow.
Okay. So then we're going to have our video, and then they're going to be done. So let's move over to the end of the video. And we're probably definitely going to want to make this slide longer, because we're going to say a few things about the different types of plants. So let's make this a little bit longer. Remember that you can always edit this later after the voiceover is over. And we're going to click right at the start of here, and we're going to make another voiceover. Plants can also be divided into flowering and non-flowering plants. Flowering plants regrow by spreading their seeds, while non-flowering plants, like mosses and ferns, use spores that travel through the air to reproduce. Okay, so that's it. Let's take a look here. Plants can also be divided into flowering and non-flowering plants. Flowering plants regrow by spreading their seeds, while non-flowering plants, like mosses and ferns, use spores that travel. Flowering plants regrow by spreading their seeds, while non-flowering plants, like mosses and ferns, use spores that travel through the air to reproduce. So what we can do is, we'll make sure that our audio is primary on our sound file. So we're going to go back to clicking here, and let me turn that up just a little bit. Actually, I think we're going to turn our actual music sound down a little bit, because it's a little bit loud. Let's try that. Ferns use spores that travel through the air to reproduce. Okay. So then, I think the last thing that we'll need to do for our components of our video is we'll need to add in some transitions. Now, luckily this is easy. Just pick whatever we'd like, and we drop them in. So if you want to pick the circle, you just pop it between where the pictures would be. Pop them right in. So if you want to do something different, go for it. This is your chance to be a little creative. And luckily, the stretch and pull usability of iMovie makes everything easy if you need to make things a little bit longer or shorter. Okay, so I got our movie. And you don't necessarily have to have a clip as long as mine. I just, for the sake of time, I didn't want to go through and cut the movie for 10 minutes while you watch me, so. Okay, put in some more. Put in some more. Let's use a different one. This one looks kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do that one. Okay. So you're going to have some more, obviously. I'm just doing this to save some time. Okay. And let's say if you have a situation like I do, and your song goes longer than your movie, which it probably will. Not to worry. Okay, so if you click on our music file right here, we're still going to be able to split our clip. You're going to see now we have a secondary part, which we can then cut. And there you go. Now the last thing we're going to probably want to do, since we're cutting off our video or our music rather, kind of not at a natural stopping point, we want to fade it out. So you're going to take this little button here, you can see at the end of your iMovie, and you're just going to drag it right out. And I'll just drag it out the entire length of my credits. And that's that. So I think I've covered all the requirements of this iMovie. So you're going to have a title slide. You're going to have your pictures that you uploaded. You're going to have some background music. You're going to have transitions between your slides. You're going to have at least one voiceover. I did 2. And you're going to upload a video clip rather from YouTube. And then at the end, you're going to have your bibliography information here at the end. When you're done, simply hit this share button at the top right. And what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to save it as a file. If you want to upload it to YouTube, that's fine. But you need to submit it through Blackboard. This will just be easier to... Okay, so we submit through file. Also, this is going to go in your portfolio eventually, so what we can do, so just give it a title, plants, intro, and we want to make sure that it's not rendering at 1080. That'll take forever. Choose, this is fine, this 540 is fine. Quality, choose medium, and then, yeah, faster, that's what we want. Video and audio, and type, movie, that's what's good, and then we're going to go ahead and give it a title. I'll save it to my... Well, that's fine. Okay, and that's fine. So I'll save it. And then it'll start to do its thing. And you can check its progress by clicking this little button up here. It'll take a while. Now, if you chose one of the higher resolution settings, it might take like hours and hours. So that's why I recommend that you choose the lower settings that I chose. But, you know, if you want to, and just put it on before you go to bed or something. I assume you could if you wanted to, but you don't need to. Okay, so that was the iMovie walkthrough assignment. We went through putting in all of the components, as well as doing things like editing our sound and making sure we have primary audio tracks and things like that. We edited in all the transitions, voiceovers, slides, credits, and we faded our music out, and we learned how to cut clips. So you should be able to use this and have all the skills that you need to do your iMovie topic presentation. So good luck, and email me with any questions.